Hey guys, I'm excited. I get to go live again. Okay, little cricket. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm be talking and coloring, talking and coloring. Okay, I'm a little smudgy. Hold on. Scepter. It could just be on my end. Y'all let me know if y'all can see okay. But I do plan on. I think I'm just flat out cricket. I don't know. Ooh. Okay, that's not too bad. You still see the picture. Okay. Y'all, I'm so particular. Hi. I feel like it's a blur. Let me look at it on my other phone. It don't look right. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Saturday to you all. Hi, Hannah. I'm gonna get my other phone in just a second so I can see all the comments. But this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Okay, I gotta switch some things around here. Got my color pencils. Has anybody else been having like some really bad sinuses, like off the chain? I have gotten a couple sinus infections in my day, but this this past April, May, sinuses off the chain. I'm talking about I have to keep cleaning out my nose, had a whole bunch of drainage. It was horrible. And I take allergy medicines on a regular basis. So I don't know. That's all the doctor could tell me. Just take your allergy medicine and be consistent. All right. Let me make sure make sure I'm going live on the right channel. Probably they're not. I don't see it. Yeah. Oh Lord, I'm gonna ask my daughter. I think I did. I think I went wrong on live channel. I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. How are y'all doing? I can't see y'all, so I must not be on the right channel. But it's okay, because I love y'all too. And everything happens for a reason, right? Oh no, I got it now. I guess I can't see on my own thing anymore. All right. So here we are. Got y'all. Got y'all. Hi Vanessa. Where my chat go? I hope y'all can hear me okay. Right here, lately I've been talking real low. I don't even know if it's. I guess when you have a little sinus issue going on and you get the little hoarse in your voice and you kind of get scared to lose your voice again. That's probably where I'm at right now. Okay, that looks good. I had to make sure it looks okay. Okay, that's not the picture of my color though. Um, Hi Maris. Hi y'all. Hello, hello, hello all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is June 1st. May was so long. It was so long and so busy. Jace graduated from pre-K. My daughter promoted. She's in early college, so she finished off her 10th grade year. She's entering her 11th grade year. We had to take her to go get her permit. She passed, got her permit. Um, we started our official church, and now we have church every Sunday. So that's been an adjustment coming from having church service only on second and fourth and sometimes fifth. And then we have services every Sunday. And I was telling my daughter, I said, you know it's God when you don't even feel like you're doing work. When you feel like you're just doing like something natural as far as like drinking water or taking a bath. Like that's what it feels like to me. Like it doesn't feel like work. It if anything, you feel incomplete when you miss church. And oh man, the fellowship was just beautiful, especially this past Sunday. I couldn't even put in words um, how amazing it was, but we all were blessed. We all recognized that we had some storms. Some of us was in the middle of a storm. Some of us had some storms brewing. Some of us on the tail end of the storms. But all we knew is we just had to keep pressing and we had to encourage one another, which is why church is so amazing. So I don't know what's going on in other parts of the world, but if you are in a storm, if you're currently on the way out, if you're beginning the storm, listen, God is with you. Jesus said, I would never leave you or forsake you. So it doesn't matter where you are in your life, as long as you believe and have faith, as long as you, well, because I don't believe in losing salvation, but I ain't here even to argue that. But as long as you believe that Jesus Christ is God and he was born of a virgin birth and that he had a ministry on this earth and he died on the cross and he rose again and he left and he's going to come back. If you believe that, God is with you. But anyway, I'm going to color in chat. I just got to figure out what I want to color. I don't know. I want one of y'all to pick out a random number page and I go to it. Oh, this is pretty. And it's a flower. Okay. Okay. I think we're here. Okay. But anyway, probably end up coloring more than one because I have a whole lot to talk to y'all about, I think. So it is June 1st. It is Saturday. And I'm 2 for 2. I get to give y'all my little monthly reset. And I'm actually on live and I can color and talk to you guys at the same time and, you know, catch you guys up about the previous week. So if you, there has been a moment of brief, I don't want to say silence, but a moment where I was like, okay, God, what are we going to talk about now? You know, like it's a moment of just, I would just say just rest, where I didn't really have a lot to say in person or on YouTube. And I know a lot of you noticed, was like, oh, probably where's the videos at? Hi, Natalie. Welcome. Thank you for joining my channel and supporting. But it's like my cup was empty and I just felt like God just had to refill it. And he did beautifully. And I thank God for that. But I also thank God for the maturity to hold fast. Because, you know, it is so easy to get in that spiritual rut, right? And feel like, I don't know, like you got to go searching somewhere or something. Like you got to figure out life when you feel that way, when God feels distance or you don't really hear anything or you're not really getting any messages from him, so to speak, per se. Because ultimately, you end up concluding that it wasn't God who was silent, you were misplaced. Where that could mean too busy, or occupied, emphasis on the wrong things, or maybe even right things, just bad timing. It could be a number of things. But one thing I am learning for certain is that you have to have ears to hear because God's always speaking. As long as you open up that Bible, he's speaking, right? And just gotta be still, like true be stillness. And true story, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and hopefully this encourages y'all. It seemed like I said in my other video, but just in case y'all missed it, I was outside doing my morning walk, and I didn't have much to say. I just said, Lord, this is my prayer walk. I want to talk. I felt like I had something to say, but I just was walking and enjoying the morning breeze and the calmness and the stillness of everything. And it was just so beautiful. And what made it even more unique and special, y'all, is that I was walking and I heard like this low wisp of a wind, like I can hear it, but it sounded like it was so distant. And I paused, and it caused me to look, and I said to myself, rain is coming. Like, I don't know, probably sound countries, I don't know what, but if you know, you know that you can hear rain coming sometime, before it even gets to you. And I remember just pausing and looking and just at all about the whole thing, like, rain is coming. It's coming. I can hear it. I don't see it. And when I say I don't see it, like, there was no recognition of rain whatsoever, like nothing. Like, I'm just looking, like, the stillness that was there is like something's about to take place. And I looked and I paused for a second, I smiled, and I said, I feel like I got enough time to walk up and down one more time before I get wet. And y'all, I'm smiling, I'm giggling, because I'm like, I have that much faith. Like, I got enough in me to do that, right? And sure enough, I walked up and down my yard one more time and came back, and it started drizzling. And I was like, God, you're so awesome. It may sound so silly to y'all, but I was like, Lord, this is the kind of joy and peace, like, where it's just something so simple like rain and just being outside just make you feel good. And I knew I needed it. For one, naturally, my vitamin D levels were low. So, duh, I need to go outside. And then two, being cooped up in the house does nobody any good at all. You got to get out. If it ain't nothing but for a second, get out the house and get some fresh air. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a very country moment. I live in North Carolina, in case anybody doesn't know, and we pay a whole lot of attention to the rain, especially in my area because it floods. But anywho, very small story there. But let me tell y'all, I had a overwhelming sense of praying today, and I just want to know, was I the only one? Like, and I want to say it was today and yesterday where I just felt like, Lord, be our peace, be our protection. And it was to the point where I felt like I just had to pause and just like, Lord, like a deep, urgent sensation to just pray. And I don't get like that too often. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm prophetic or something, because that's not my gift. That is not my gift at all. But excuse me, I don't mean to shake y'all. But I don't know. I know God does prepare us, and I also had a dream, and I don't have too many dreams, but I had a dream of a storm. It was pretty bad, and I was just like, okay, Lord, um, prepare me, prepare me, because obviously y'all know that with us having actual church every Sunday and stuff, I'm just like, Lord, I have to mentally prepare that order of operations of what's important and what's not. So obviously church comes first, because that is my husband's ministry, and I am to make sure I'm his helpmate. So that has to come first, right? And then I consider whatever I got going on secondary. And it does not mean that I don't think it's important, and it does not mean he doesn't think it's important. But um, I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say, because I love what I do here, but I also knew I had to brace myself for change, um, in case I had to. Well, it's a learning thing, basically, learning to have church and do church, because this is new to me. Like, I've never had to do this. Like, I never. This is my first marriage. This is my first marriage to a pastor, so it's a learning thing, and try to keep balance with the children too, because they are a very important piece of this too. But trying to figure out what color I want to do here. And I'm using, this is my Inspired Prayer Bible, by the way. But there is one thing that kept coming to me recently, is that there's too much to pray about to complain and to be distracted. Because even if it's not you, I'm guaranteeing you that you know somebody who needs some prayer. And a lot is going on that we may not be fully aware of, especially if you're uh not so in tune with news or social media per se, outside of, well, I don't really consider YouTube social media, but I guess it is. um I ran across a video today where this guy was pouring his heart out, and people are realizing that the election ruling in favor of Biden and Kamala has not done the economy any good at all, and people are hurting. People are, their wages on their job is barely keeping them above water. The tax cuts and everything is just not working out. Like, people are experiencing rough times. People who never experienced it before. Um, you see a lot of churches that had kind of shut in or shut down when COVID started. A lot of those churches have not opened back up. I even know a church personally that would have been right down the street from the church building that we got now, who I guess the main minister there was so deeply affected by COVID that he is in no position to come back. Um, and I know that's just not local. Like, there's a lot of permanent closed churches. Even when I travel out and I see, I'm like, they're not open yet. They're not returning, and like a lot of people have walked away. And there's something to pray about. Well, there's always something to pray about, but just the idea that a lot of churches are perishing and a lot of ministers aren't returning. Um, a lot of pastors are dealing with a lot. I know two, one that is not so local. I think they're somewhere. I know I seen a little news clip on that where their wife committed suicide. I know another minister where he came home to his wife passing away, and it kind of messed with him. Like, he has not returned back to pastoring. And you gotta imagine, like, somebody that you grown old with, and you're doing your normal everyday routine, getting ready to go to church. You done preached the whole message. Probably looking around wondering, hey, my wife hasn't showed up yet, but probably thinking nothing of it. And then you get home and she has passed away. One thing I'm learning right now is that ministry definitely uh, has its weight. Even when you're doing all the right things, praying all the right things, being in the right positions, it can definitely take its toll on you. And this is why you pray for ministers. You pray for people who are in ministry. Like, they don't have to be the one preaching. They can be the ministry of help. They can be the usher. They can be the greeter. Like, everybody's going through something. And you keep people in prayer. Like I said, a lot of people they're still experiencing effects from, COVID. Still need much prayer. Um, one thing that I am seeing is that there's a lot of unprofessionalism with business and companies. Like, a lot of people, they can't find decent jobs. There's a lot of incapable people in positions, and these things are hurting the people. They are hurting everyone. And of course, we are told we're not supposed to worry, we're not supposed to fear. Um, but we continuously watch and we continuously pay attention, because we still have, we get an idea of what to pray for. And you also want to make sure that you're sensitive to what somebody else is experiencing, because we're all a part of God's body and we are here for one another. But if we're so busy caught up in our own issues and things, we can miss it when something is going on with somebody else. That's one thing that I know I have been guilty of many days where I'm so caught up in my own struggles that somebody could get up and say, well, I was going through this. And I'm like, how would I not know that? Just got to be careful and trust God and pray. Always pray. I had a minor testimony on my other channel where I was talking about how I didn't even realize that I was so burdened and stressed that my worshiping was perishing. Hi, Illinois. Hope you're doing well. I am always praying for you, ma'am. Always, always, always. And I want to let y'all all know that my email, we made some progress. Not completely, but it's amazing how fast those inboxes can fill up. And then next thing you know, you're threatened to not receive anything else, or you can't receive anything else. And I finally got it somewhat decent. So where I know who's emailing me and who's not, or what I'm getting and what I'm receiving and what I'm not receiving. But hopefully I'm not shaking too much. I don't like that shaking. I'm trying to be real light here. But there has been a couple viral videos about children in the school system. We need to always pray for the children in school. They're going through so much. And this generation of parenting is just different, boy, I tell you. But each children need prayer. And mind you, because for a lot of people, school is their break away from the reality of home. So now we're approaching summer. You know, children are out. They have no choice but to be home. Some of them are left alone. You gotta pray for God's hedge of protection for them, because things happen to children over the summer too. Not all, but the realization is that some people's parents are their first bullies. We should know that. And this is not to say parents bad, because I'm not one of those team teacher versus parents people. I refuse to be, because that's not beneficial to nobody. Like, we need to learn how to work together for the better sake of the children. Thank you, Illinois. We need prayers. Husband is out right now on his way to get our boys. And he got the two little ones, because they like to ride with daddy. They like to ride anyway. And they just ride and go to sleep. But those my babies, though. They hop right in the car and close their eyes after I give them about a good 5 minutes. It don't take them long, though. Anyway. So this past week, I've been really trying to focus on keeping God at the center of my thoughts, the center of my worship, the center of my studying, and things were so much better this past week. It's just amazing how quickly doing something good can easily feel like a burden when your mindset isn't right. If you're not well prayed up and mentally prepared, God didn't ever intend for us to do good and feel like it's a chore. Like, doing good should come so freely to us that if anything, we can recognize and feel when we have been lacking. And for a lot of us, it's been a complete opposite. Like, we rush through the good stuff. We rush through church. We rush through prayer. We rush through worship, fellowship. I even had, I remember having a season of anxiousness, like just want to hurry up and get church over with. But I thank God for the variety of people that show up on Sundays, because with any given testimony, you realize this person needed to be here and they needed to see us there. Like, it's just encouragement to see people doing good and people being well and people pressing on, because God knows if you knew what people had to deal with behind closed doors, just them showing up should be enough for you to be glad to see them. I know for myself, being on this side of things, being married to the pastor, you get to know hands on all some of the things that people go through, because we often pray together. And people may show up with a smile on their face, but have to return home to hell. You don't know. And I keep seeing this post that says, be kind, because you never know what no one's going through, what their experiences, and that's just so true. You don't know. You don't know. Never assume because somebody got a smile on their face that they're doing okay. There's people, we as people, we're going to go through until God calls us home. Some people literally try, they smile to keep from crying. They laugh to keep from crying. And laughter is good for the soul and bones. But this is why you get around one another, because even when you don't have it in you to laugh or to joke, the right person could be around you at the right time. I don't think I like this purple. Should have picked another color purple. Looks too blah. But anywho, I I thank God for my husband, because he's thinking. Well, I have a lot of thoughts inside, and I'm like, I don't know if I should say it now, but I just thank God that so far we've been on the same page as far as like reaching out to the community and helping the needy and stuff. Because, like I said, with the way the economy is and how people are struggling, things of that nature. And then for a lot of people, um, like I talked about in my video on my Cozy Faith channel, it's not even a matter of, hey, people don't have enough. People definitely are learning how to be wiser. And I feel like, because everything is a part of God's will and plan, right? Like, you use your job or you get on disability, you have to adjust. And you have to adjust quickly. And let me tell you something. I have been on a wide range of scales as far as pay. Um, I've experienced many, many, many moons ago, I experienced getting paid once a month. Then I moved to bi-weekly. And then I moved to every week. And once a month again. And let me tell you, it ain't nothing like getting paid once a month. That's the worst one of all. But it definitely teaches you how to balance and what's necessary and what's not. And you start to view things from a different perspective. Like, is this necessary? Is this important? Because when you get paid every week, you think every week. Like, you start thinking, um, oh, I'm gonna get paid again next week, so it don't matter if I spend all my money. That's sure how I used to think. But man, if I could go back in time. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coloring with me. Coloring is still my soothing hobby. Helps me to calm the thoughts and nerves, and yeah, and meditate on the goodness of God. I want y'all to, speaking of, continue to pray for my husband. Um, has some inconsistent blood pressure, and of course he don't want to trouble nobody, but I serve God and I like to pray. And not only do I like to pray, but I like for us to pray in groups. But If you don't know, you're dealing with kidney disease and kidney failure. You can't be playing around with your blood pressure. Um, but at least we know the corporate of it. It won't me. God knows, because if anything, He tell me, "Where's the salt?" And I said, "Honey, I care about you more than I care about putting a lot of salt in your food." So, if you decide to add salt, then that's on you. But I'm not gonna put all that stuff in there because I want him around. I feel like we got a lot of work to do here in this community and in the church, and we need to be around for a long time. But God knows, if we don't know anything else that's salty for you here in southern, excuse me, north, not north, but eastern, southern Carolinas, is our Chinese food, boy. Chinese food will raise your blood pressure, put you in the hospital. It's bad news. Which he don't really get it too often anyway, thank God. He's not a fan. But he was trying to make me happy. And I didn't even ask for it that time. I said, "What made you get it?" But it just was an eye opener because I'm like, even if it was more evident that it was wrong or doing something wrong for him, it just, confirms even more that I don't need to be eating that stuff either. Because we all trying to do better. And we want to be examples to one another. We want to be examples to our kids. Because we know this dialysis stuff is no funny business at all. His best friend is also on dialysis, and he's struggling a little bit. And he needs prayer too. He needs prayer. One thing I was telling my daughter, my oldest one, because my baby girl ain't studying nothing yet. She only 2. I was telling my big girl, I said, if the Lord bless you with a husband, please understand that men don't take care of their health like women do. And it's not to mean for us to treat them like children, but we know to pray and we know to do our part. And I try my best to do my part. You cook at home, you got to worry about that bad fast food no way. But I also know people got this thing where they want to say that eating out and eating at home costs about the same, and it does not. It does not. It's just that this generation likes to cook bountifully all the time. I don't know if anyone else has. Hi, Harriet. I don't know if anybody else has noticed lately, but there's a whole bunch of like cooking YouTubes and a lot of people cooking and eating, and they're doing a lot of mukbangs and stuff. But they're so big on plentiful eating now. Like I'm like, that's not the norm every day. Like no wonder everybody's health is failing and people are gaining so much weight and stuff. Like that's not normal. Like we have balanced meals, yes, but eating like it's Thanksgiving every single night, no, no. I mean, even when you think about those who are well off, they don't eat like that. They eat very light and fresh. And I know for me, I can be a little heavy on the starch side sometimes. Like I have my rice and I have my corn and I probably have some cornbread too. But that's when you tune into proportion size. Like you don't every meal shouldn't be like a grand family meal. Some days it might be something really, really simple. You may have like, I don't know, baked chicken, uh potatoes and string beans. Like every meal don't have to have a great big dessert with it. You just gotta know what you're doing. But like I said, a lot of people doing stuff for social media now, so everybody trying to keep up with one another, and that's not okay. And I know for a fact, I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old, but social media is starting to get a little on the depressing side. Like some of the stuff you see posted and some of the things people engage in and say. This is why I gradually, not gradually, I periodically step away as much as I can because now it's like, Lord, you got to help us to be wise because, of course, we got to promote the church and post things concerning the church. But it's like, I don't really want to be on here anymore. I want to get away. but somebody got to be the light, right? That's one thing that I'm learning too. Like, if you stay away from everything and there's no lighting and darkness, you just let darkness do darkness, and nobody try to steps in and be the light and be salt, then you don't really do your part as discipling and gathering more. Because where do you think you have to go? You have to go into those places that normally wouldn't be where you be at. And I'm not saying drastically like go inside a club or anything, but I'm saying like as far as social media, like you never know what encouraging scripture or post may have touched someone. You never know. So I don't believe in being absolute completely, unless you're a traveling person, unless you're out and about often and you can disciple or um, introduce Jesus to people that way. There's so many ways to go about doing it, but I think oftentimes we can get a little comfortable and forget that's what we're supposed to do. There's gonna be seasons where you shut yourself in, and there's seasons where you got to go out there and tell someone about Jesus. And God usually works it out what's best fitting for you and what you can do. Like, He's not gonna tell me to go to Tennessee and talk to anyone because I'm in North Carolina. Like He's gonna do things within reason. Just gotta be obedient and be discerning. I don't know. I got a feeling that God's gonna. I don't know. I see it happening. I don't know. I feel like I'm end up in the school system, but there probably won't be no time soon. Bella is a Bella's a handful. She definitely got to be older, if the Lord be willing, because that will require me to work a 9 to 5 again. Yes, ma'am, Brooke. Yes, yes, yes. Fasting, fasting, fasting. If you ever had the liberty of hearing my husband, you'll know he said fasting is his least favorite thing, being completely honest. Um, Hi TC. Um, for me, food fasting has always kind of come natural. Um, some may even say it's a gift. I know my oldest sister is bomb. Like, she can tell you, "Hey, we're gonna fast at 5 p.m." And I'd be like, "Whoa." Maybe two, maybe one. Like, she's a faster. Like, she can definitely fast. Um, but I think what has helped my husband, I don't know if he even recognized it or not, but when you have that balance of, yes, I'm gonna sustain from food, but I'm also gonna be extra careful about what I'm listening to and what I'm watching. And this could actually mean turning down some of your habitual viewings. That's not necessarily horrible, but something that you indulge and consume in. I know for me, um, worship music definitely encourages you. It encourages you that, hey, you're in this setting, you're in this mood, and this needs to last. Versus, I'm trying to avoid eating. And so then your mind is warped around when I'm gonna get my next meal. Um, Even I remember a conversation I had with my older sister. She was like, um, as life has slowed down for her, it has gotten a little harder because there's less to occupy yourself. Like, I think it works better for anybody to balance out and to schedule and to prepare. Because when you prepare for the fast, you don't leave any room for mishaps and misfortunes or slip ups. And I think the people that you involve yourself around matters too. I think it's important to tell the people that are necessary. I think um, that makes sense. I know people get hung up on scripture that says don't be walking around here looking like you're fasting and making a big deal. But um, I think it is fruitful to disclose the information to some people. Um, so just so they can respect boundaries. Because if you're fasting and if someone brings you, I don't know, Chipotle for lunch for you, and that's like your favorite thing, and they don't spend no money on it, like that doesn't really work out. Like you're gonna feel some type of way about it, and the whole thing is gonna be like, why didn't you say something? Like it definitely doesn't matter who you talk to, and what you say to whom, because people need to know. But your atmosphere matters wholeheartedly. It does. The people, the places you go. Obviously, the only thing that probably cannot be changed or adjusted is your job. Um, it it definitely helps to fast with someone too, accountability person. Um, Me and my husband often we're fasting collectively as a church, so I have him and he has me. Um, we often encourage our children to do what you can within reason, because I think a big part of our human nature is disappointment, and you want to stay away from that. Like you want to celebrate the small wins just as much as you would the big wins. Like if you made it to 12 o'clock and you forgot, that day still counts. You still fast. I think a lot of the issues come when people don't mentally, physically, emotionally prepare themselves for the fast. When it's just like, hey, I'm gonna stay away from food, but then everything else around them is not holy. Like you're listening to the same thing, you're watching the same thing, you're talking to the same people. Excuse me. Um, you're still on social media, you're still watching all different kinds of advertisements and videos and shows and whatever's on the radio. Like you got to make it a full picture. And I remember even had to tell I was one of my sisters, um they end up, because we were doing a corporate fast together, and they end up being around someone. So then they all of a sudden they weren't comfortable praying, because we were coming together to pray with one another, and they weren't comfortable praying anymore. They didn't have much to say because they were adjusting to their environment versus they should have had the environment adjusted for them and their fast. Hi Teresa. When my oldest daughter went to preschool, I went also. I volunteered the whole year. Then I was hired and I worked for expedition for 21 years. Yeah, I think that's kind of what's going on. I think I've been so involved, and I had a couple teachers and people kind of mention things to me, but I was like, I don't know, because a part of the deal, and I hate to say deal, but a part of the agreement with the dialysis is that I have to be home all the time. And although my husband has adjusted very well, for liability reasoning, I cannot be gone for like hours at a time. So that's something that's always in the back of my head too. But for the most part, I would be very satisfied and very pleased if I had the opportunity to, be on board. Because for the most part, um, I enjoy children. Um, I think I'm well balanced in nurturing and disciplinary. Um, I believe I got a little patience for children. Who knows? Who knows? Definitely ain't, turning my head up at the idea. I just gotta, the mindset now is always prioritizing husband and making sure I'm in place. And even more so now because, like I said, we got church, and he still had his moments of tiredness or weariness. Um, Still experienced a lot of fatigue. You know, all the stuff that comes with that. I don't think there's much more I can do with this photo. I had enough shaking the table. I should put this color in here. But yeah. You're gonna love it, Teresa. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. I love mine. Like it's something that even when you notice children, like as I said, I was gonna start dating my pictures. Hold on. Today is June 1st, right? What was I about to say? As wild of a firecracker my daughter Bella is, she is off the chain. Fast too. So not only does she get in a lot of stuff, but she'll run and you ain't catching her. But when you sit some crayons in front of her and a pencil and a paper or a notebook or a coloring book, she just calms right on down and starts focusing on what she's doing. Same thing with painting. Every day she asks me, can she paint? And I'm just like, okay, paint is a different story because painting requires a lot of cleanup. I think for sure for Christmas, we're gonna get her the little stand-up easel, and she can do whatever she want to do with that, and that'll be less messy than my kitchen table. And yeah. So all of us kind of dabble with art a little bit. My husband can draw. My son just got recognized. He's gonna be at the stadium building, conference building, for one of his drawings. My daughter draws. She colors. She does Bible journaling. Obviously, I color. I don't really draw. I've doodled from time to time, but I don't know. I haven't drawn in a long time. Try to find another picture. But it just calms the children. It calms the adults. That's why there's this whole big thing about adult coloring. Trying to find something that got a little lint to it. Oh, this is pretty. Make sure you guys can see it. Okay. I feel like I'm always crooked. But what was I gonna say? But yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. I don't know if I actually want. I was gonna color the house red, but I don't think I want a red house. This to do. But I know I've been praying for a lot of Christians not to be distracted because there's so much nonsense going on in the world that got people distracted, and everybody got an opinion about things. And I was like, y'all, we gotta focus. We gotta focus. We do not want our Father to come back and we caught off guard. We need to be focusing on kingdom stuff at all times. Like souls are at stake. But social media has done a mighty fine job distracting us. And And this is why we have to, like I said, we got to tell ourselves sometimes to just be still, to pray and be still. Which, like I said, when I'm doing this, I get to collect my thoughts and I get to really think things through. And a lot of people, they sew or knit. Gardening is another thing. It's so much that we can do to occupy ourselves, and it's not anything that will jeopardize our soul. But this is why the older women have to continuously encourage the younger women that there's something more in life than clubs and drinking and smoking and being outside, so to speak. There's something so much more. But there has to be examples of this. Like, we can't just keep saying, hey, there's other things you can do, but then there's never any other thing presented. Because sometimes people are clueless when it comes to the ideas, and you have to fill them in. Children tell you all the time, I'm bored. And then what you have to say? Well, go do this, or hey, do that. We got to tell them. A lot of people, there are some people that are good at doing things, and there's some people good at pitching an idea for things. That green is a little different, but it's okay because we already colored with it. But anyway, I know recently, I don't know about anybody else, but I want to, the NASB translation, I always said I want to take a year to really use that one, based on the chart of the closeness to the original text. But I keep putting it off. Because, we all get comfortable, right, in whatever translation we got, whether we grew up in it or, for me, I'm just like, my husband preaches and teaches from New King James. And that's probably the translation that I spend the least amount of time in. Not on purpose, obviously, but it just, I don't know. I finished having my prayer Bible this morning with several topics. Yeah, I'm going to love it. I can't draw, so I feel like reading the Bible will help me. Yeah, that's me too. I can't really draw. And I like the pre-printed pictures. Okay, this doesn't shake as much. Maybe. I don't know. Y'all tell me when it gets too bad. I know the camera stand is moving. And I would love to know. That's what I need to do. I need to hop on some other people's coloring things and figure out what they're using that's not moving, because naturally this stand is pretty decent as far as like not moving. But then when you start to color, it's another story. So yeah. But I would say I made sure to put coloring on my agenda for at least once a week. And it's been good. It's been really good. I'm sure once the kids get a little older, I better do so much more. But I thank God that at least in that regard, when it comes to doing things as far as like being creative and being productive, that I like to think that God has blessed me in that area. Because I think a lot of ways that a lot of young Christians get caught up is that they get introduced to fun, quote unquote, fun things that end up getting them to trouble. And of course, with age, you start to realize that things out there in that world ain't what it's cracked up to be. But you got to learn that, of course. Like, that don't just come natural to you. And it's so hard telling someone who's never been out there that you already know what's there and they don't need to go out to learn. Like, children got to learn in their own right. I got 2 children that's going to be college age at the same time. But at least I believe my son is probably going to, if he's going somewhere, he's probably going to go to trade school. But I think he's more interested in finding a job. And the choice is totally up to him because although we're his parents, we can't but so much sympathize with him because of his mental health, you know, the autism, the ADHD, and things of that nature. So I know in bulk, most people with autism and ADHD and the like, um, they're real productive hand wise. Like they like to keep their hands going. So school has never been his thing anyway. And it's just like a matter of counting down, like so ready to get out of that place. But at least at that point, he can definitely just jump into career mode. Um, we're at least, well, obviously, we've been introducing the idea of um, at least trade schooling, like something that doesn't take too long, and he can, you know, get some knowledge and experience on his belt that will look good as far as his job search. Because if you come out there in the world with nothing, it's going to be a little harder for you, especially these days. Although there's so many people that are making it big on some of the most ignorant things, like I said, the mukbangs and the overeating and stuff. Like there's people they're always going viral. People's always watching that type of stuff. But I'm raising my children to have some sense of structure about yourself. Like don't think you just gonna go out there and do whatever. Like always prepare for the future. And certifications is a good thing. Even something as simple as CPR certified or being a notary, these are things that can give you a leg up. Things that may not seem like much until it's written on paper. I'm thinking about even doing that myself. But I'm always praying for my children, and I've been feeling the older they get, the more you pray. The more you got to pray for. And that's where I'm at right now. Like, whew, just pray, pray, pray. Got teenagers, you got to pray. Either you're going to pray for them or you're praying for yourself to deal with them, either or. But I must say that it's always been said, but definitely now, children are dealing with a lot more now than what I did and what I had to go through. It's okay, Riri. You're here. Please enjoy your Bible study. That sounds good to me. I think we'll have one as a family when everybody gets back here. As a matter of fact, what time is it? 9:47. How long I've been up here, y'all? I'm gonna have about an hour, right? I think that's what it says. Is that 59 minutes? Yeah, I always try to give y'all an hour. And I'm definitely gonna finish this picture because I got a vision and I think it's gonna come out to be so lovely. But my encouragement to y'all tonight definitely is to always pray. Always, always pray. I'm gonna slant this a little bit. Pray and spend time in God's word. You know, I've always been an advocate for reading the Bible and praying and fasting. And I think that's another thing too. Matter of fact, that's what I was gonna say a while ago. Like I had to remind my sisters, my little sisters, that hey, the Bible and praying are they're your weapons, and they're also your aids when it comes to fasting. Like, they help make the fast be productive and smooth. Like, you can really hear from God during those times. So that's not the time to slack up on your Bible reading. That's not the time to slack up on prayer. Like, engage in your word. And I think what's lacking today is that um, no one's really pushing the youth to stick together as far as like Christian youth. I know when I was a teenager, they made us go on trips together. They made us go to revivals together. They made us go to Christian concerts together. They made us, we just was together. I mean, we was together so much. I'm like, look, this feels more like family than people at my church. But that's so true. Like, we did everything together. And those bonds, like, we're still connected today. We're still encouraging one another. We're still happy for one another. That matters. But now it's like everybody is isolated. Uh, Parents don't even feel obligated to train the children up. Everybody now, it's all about the child can do what they want to do. They can believe in what they want to believe in, and it's just so different now. It is so different now in a detrimental way. Like, that is not helping. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So you know what that means? If you're here under this roof, we're going to talk about God. We're going to read about God. We're going to pray to God. We're going to fast. Like, we're responsible for our children. So ain't no, hey, whatever you feel, or you don't have to go to church if you don't want to. No, you in my house, and if I feel like, as far as me and my soul, and I got to go to church, you got to go to church too. Hi, Star. Who we got the big galaxy? I keep looking at it, but y'all know I'm real. I got to practice what I preach. Like, I can't, I said no more Bibles. But if I could go back in time, I definitely would have got the larger one. I think a lot of people's opinion and comments on it kind of deterred me from getting the larger Bibles. But now, when I realize I got to be in even more to teach from it, I'm like, okay, I need my large print. But yeah, stay on your children. Do not fear. I see a lot of fear nowadays, like not wanting to be too stern with the children. Um, there's always a balance. Whether we have to learn it or not is a different story, but there will always be a balance when it comes to discipline and loving and nurturing, which is why a two-parent home will always be the blessing that God has given us, because we're designed differently so that we're going to deal with the children differently but be on the same page. Dad is going to be the one usually that's going to get straight to the point and get the discipline out the way, and then mother can come back and say, well, here's why he did it. You know, so you need that balance. You need that structure. Um, I pray my children. I pray over them and their future, and I'm just like, Lord, bless all of them to be married in a healthy, God-fearing marriage. And I know, like I said, we're so caught up in on what somebody feels about something or what somebody care about. We serve God and we fear God, not man, not man-made ideas, not these concepts. Obviously, you be cordial, but when you have to choose between truth and sugarcoating and bending to the world, you know there's only one option, and that's to serve God with your whole heart and your whole soul, and let your life be on display as a light for others, and that includes your children too. Um, I know me and my husband making our business to be real and genuine with our children. Like, they know when we're going through something. Um, there's a difference between children understanding that, hey, we have a rough patch, versus putting them in the middle of something. That's when you know you're wrong. Like, don't put children in the middle of your stuff. keep them away. But be real with your children, because one of the biggest things that deter teenagers is when you start fibbing and lying and having false narratives. That's when they say, hold up, what you saying and what you doing don't match up. That's when you lose the teenagers, because that's when they have a real, true, genuine, right and wrong perspective. Like, hold up, my my parents be lying to me and they be faking. Like, they go to church and be one way and then they get home and do something else. Like, children ain't stupid. They are not stupid. It takes some learning. Absolutely, it takes some learning, because I had to get to a point where I'm like, okay, you just have to come out and be real honest with your children. Like, kids, mommy is not having not a good day. I love y'all and I care for y'all. I need a moment to myself. Or um, I'm having a moment where I just feel like I got to steal away and read some scriptures. Um, a little concerned about daddy's health. I need y'all to be extra quiet today, or we may not be talkative, playing as, like, be real. Because what happens is, I know what happened with me often is that I got a lot of attitude and rage from my mom, and nothing was never explained. So I always looked at her like, you're an angry, mad person. And then when you get older, you realize that, they was going through this, they was going through that. You know, it matters how much you talk to your children. It matters. And it matters how you talk to your spouse, because that teaches so much between your children. Because if you disrespect one another, they gonna think it's okay. They might play you guys against one another. You just have to be careful in that regard. You have to use wisdom. And the best thing you can do is be on one accord for your children, to go to church together, to pray together. There's a book I got on my shelf that I've been meaning to read, and I cannot wait to dive into it and share it on my channel. But it's discussing praying together as a family. And I've been buying books on prayer, devotions on prayer, because prayer is just, it's a very key, important factor amongst spouse that doesn't happen often. Like, a lot of times you have two Christian husband and wife, but they kind of do their own thing. And that's not to say that you don't ever do your own thing, but it is very critical to be on the same page and to be on one accord, and to never lose hope in that. Like I said, life, jobs, time, all those things can kind of, interfere with, even your children can get in the middle of you guys not getting that alone time and really spending time on God's word. But you have to stand firm on what is genuine and true, and you have to be firm on making better decisions for your soul, knowing that even the things that are on display is going to help your children. They need to see that unity. They need to see the structure of oneness between husband and wife. Even fasting, like I said, me and my husband fast together. We read and get the children together. Like, y'all gonna, it's always together, no matter what happens out there in that world, no matter what y'all experience here or what we may be going through. Togetherness. Stay together. All right, y'all. I think before it should be about time for my husband to return. But like I said, I'm gonna finish coloring, but while the kids are gone, I'm also tidy up the house. Um, this was kind of unplanned, but it's okay. I enjoyed talking to you all. Stay tuned. I got plenty more videos to come, um, and drop for you all. Plenty of other topics. On my Cozy Faith channel, I am talking about Christians and their money. I highly, highly encourage each and every one of you to check out those videos. On here, I'm going to be doing more Bible study methods. I stumbled across a listing of some that I didn't even know was out there about good sits. So I'm going to be doing them. Y'all know I got my bloom that I created. Also, God gave me another one that I'm going to share with y'all. Hopefully, preferably this up and coming week. All the children are out of school now, so that should help me in a mighty, mighty way. So y'all just stay tuned for all the things I'm going to share with you all. Um, Bible giveaway. Um, I do have a Bible to give away. I keep forgetting, but I do have one. And I'm going to do a separate video that I'll probably post for tomorrow to jumpstart that giveaway. And it's a Bible that someone had gave me a good while ago, but I keep trying to rearrange my room. I'm like, these Bibles. But I keep forgetting to do the giveaway because I meant to do one last month. So y'all please forgive me, but I have an ESV, like a small church type Bible to give away. Like I said, it was given to me in the pile of the Bibles that were meant to give away. So I'm going to give that away. And that video probably will be posted tomorrow, I believe. I should be able to get it posted tomorrow. And we're going to get that Bible given out. So, people were still sending me Bibles. Most of them have been distributed in person. I just really been more sensitive, like, Lord, let me pray about this. And yeah, so I got three. I got three that needs to be given away. And like I said, they're used. They were given to me. All my light new. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that because these are light new too. Well, none of these have any writings and highlighters in it. But same rules, same concept. Anybody who has ever won a Bible, this is not for you. Anybody who can actually get their own Bible, this is not for you. This is catered towards those that are less fortunate, those who can't afford a Bible, those who need a new translation, and maybe they can't afford to get one. Yeah, y'all know the routine. But thank you, y'all. I absolutely love it spending time with you all. Um, I gotta learn how to multitask. I gotta learn how to color and talk to you all too. But I love y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing night. And I'm gonna go tidy up for these kids get here. And yeah, get a little hungry too. Normally I don't eat this late, but I really, really wanted to go live. So, recap very quickly. Week coming up, more praying, more organization, more decluttering, more prompting on videos, more teaching, more organization. Since the children are out, I do intend to try to do the 5 o'clock thing, get up early, and do what I got to do for the Lord. That's been really heavy on my heart. So if y'all been feeling the same, don't fight it. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. I feel like God is definitely, He wants to use us. We have to be in a position to be used. Like, we're still in bed snoozing. He can't use us. And this goes beyond YouTube. Of course, I'm saying for myself, for YouTube and recording. But this is also for prayer. This is also for reading God's word. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I like the house to be still and silent when I'm praying and when I'm reading. So best thing to do is get up early and get it done. So that might be your thing too if you got a lot of children and stuff. But anyway, new stuff popped in right that you spoke about kids being in the loop. That's so important, especially in the way that we're living in the world today. Absolutely, absolutely. These knows about grown-up issues. That's real hard to think about how she even knows. Yes. Some of the things that my daughter say be talking about at school, I'm just like, why? How? And I'm talking about now, I would say this. Not only pray for these children, but I need y'all to also pray for these teachers. Because a lot of the unruly things that my children say are being discussed at school is because the teacher brought it up. You got teachers talking about their marital status, their relationships, them dating, their personal problems. A line has been crossed somewhere, and I need for them to uncross that line where adults tend to adults matters in business. Like this whole, I need to be on the same page as the children and be their friend. There's a fine line between being friendly and being a friend to these children. Gotta be careful. Yes, I need you to be able to talk to me and come tell me anything, but you also need to reference me and respect me as the adult. And a lot of the conversation things that been going on does the complete opposite. So please pray for the school system and pray that more God-fearing people are in the system because that's what's needed. I thank God that both of my son's preschool teachers were Christians. They were God-fearing women, and we could sit there and talk about God and talk about prayer, because prayer should never left the school and it needs to come back. Um, if I had my way, we'll have a Bible power hour where somebody teach the Bible for an hour. I know that's more so in the private school department, but this is why we don't leave it up to the teachers and the staff. We do our part at home. And if it ain't that but 15 minutes, if it ain't nothing but a devotion, you gather your children up every day and you feed them the word. Feed them the word. The old school way, the Bible way, the BC and the AD way. Just read a passage. Read a passage, a couple scriptures, read it over your children, and talk about it. And that'll do more good than the screaming and the yelling and the sit down and be quiet and the go outside to the drop of dehydration. Sit those kids down and teach them the word of God. All right, I'm gonna go, y'all, cause yeah, I don't want these kids to come back to the mess that they made, cause they ain't made it. But I'm gonna make sure they come back to a nice, clean house. So do your part, pray about it, be women of faith. Ask the Lord for wisdom on how to go about your children, the school system, because like Eleanor said, maybe God wants you to volunteer. You would be surprised what just being around other children can do, and you sprinkling your seeds and watering the seed that maybe already there. Like, you would be surprised, just a few 5-6 minute conversation, what a child can do to them. All right, y'all. Y'all know I can talk. I'm gonna cut it off. Absolutely love y'all. Thank you guys so much for being on with me. I'm gonna try to make this a habit every Saturday, y'all, every Sunday night. I love y'all. God bless. Take care. Bye.